tinsel goes far away. I just have played on Lead Chess, of course, where else? And I've just played on Lead Chess, and that is my resulting time left. See, 2.1. Look down there. I can't look down there. I'll look down there. 2.1 versus 35 seconds. And like, I didn't look at my opponent, but I just went random on here with seeking a game, I think. I wonder if I can show, there's Daily King of the Hill Arena, which is King of the Hill, KOTH, and I cannot enter it. So I have played some King of the Hill games, obviously, or of course, but I can't enter because I haven't played enough rated games yet. So I went to set up a game with create a game here. I went to create a game, so you can't see that on the screen properly, sorry. I went to create a game, and then I created a 3-minute random color, and so I got black. So here we go. Here's this game that I've just played, and that's the end position. But I thought, oh no, I'm streaming. What's going on here? Okay, well, I'm streaming. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's streaming. I'm just doing this for YouTube, but I can't understand why it's streaming. So anyone who watches this, I'm actually streaming at the moment, so I can't understand what's going on. So this is going to Twitch too, but I couldn't actually understand what was going on. This game is quite hard, so I'm going to move ahead and do this. So I still can't understand why it just defaults and goes streaming, because I haven't actually started it live as well. Oh, I've gone streaming, have I? Okay, alright, I've probably gone streaming, so, oh well. So I might share this to YouTube then. Here we go, this is this game. So I'm playing someone that's rated 1500 points startup, okay? So I don't know who my opponent is, so I didn't take any notice. So here we go. And so I'll buzz through these moves. So all I have to do is get my king into one of these squares. And that's all black has, that's all white has to do as well. So it's a little bit like that really, isn't it? So here we go. So I'm stopping white from getting a king into d5 by playing c6. There's no king going to d4 or f4 either, but this turned out to be quite a difficult game. So I sort of looked at my opponent after it, and I thought, I wonder what sort of rating they've got for, because my opponent's quite strong. So I'm playing Ivan. I want to rule atomic. So bishop b4, castling. Okay, well, the king's going away from these squares in the center, which you can see are highlighted. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know. So I'm moving my king up closer or in proximity to these two squares. That if I can get onto one of those squares safely and land on that base squares safely, I win. And it's nothing to do with material. Okay, so king d2. So white discovered, I thought, oh yeah, fair enough. White's played king d2 now too. So I just carry on, develop, got to develop, because I need my bits to sort of like break up this foundation and also my own. So to get rid of obstacles for these two squares at least, or those two. Okay, so king d3. And actually I wanted to put something on Twitch anyway. So here I think white should probably play bishop b6 but played f4, and of course if I take here now, if I take EF4, then white wins instantly with king d4 and the king of the hill. So I know that a little bit. It's pretty difficult though, and so it's 3 checks and you're out. I find that quite difficult. Knight d5. Well, okay. And now white threatens. If I take on e4, it looks quite a good move because I win the rook. But I lose the game because king e4 is checkmate to black. Black loses because black lets white drop onto the e4 square, which is one of the safety squares for the king of the hill game, and I would lose. So I have to be careful. So I play d4. I have to be careful, just like the ad in New Zealand. Be careful when you're taking a bite. I don't know. I can't remember what it was now. Bad memory. So d4, because if I play anything else, say I play just, I don't know, what could I play? Knight h6 maybe, f5. Got to play f5, then king just d4 and game over. So here's d4, because the king can't take that. Still, the normal rules of chess apply. So bishop d4, but white is getting there, I think, quite nicely. So I play king e6, which does not threaten rook d4, because then king d4 and white wins. White wins, so I played this, but I knew that f5 was going to come up next, because it's a wee trick, because my opponent might fall for it. But guess what? My opponent doesn't. And I start to descend, go down in time. And I still don't know why. It just keeps on. But it's handy to know that if I go straight away streaming, then I can go straight to Twitch. So that's really handy to know. So with this, but I'm still working this out because I'm very green at it, like the New Zealand colour of our. So I play here f5. Okay. What else? Now black could be met with ef6 check discovery, which looks quite good actually. ef6 check looks pretty good. So here's bishop f5. Ouch. Go back to e7. Only square really. I don't want to go to f7. I went to e7. And now comes, as you can see, king e3, getting out of the pin of this situation. So I do not want white to come here for some reason. So I play g5. And then we have another move from white, which is quite good, f4. And I play knight c4. I don't know what's going on here, because I don't know what's in the book for this opening. Knight b2 check. So I'm trying to get rid of white's squares of safety and hitting the base of e4 and d4. I'm just trying to keep white away from getting into these entry squares, because then it's game over. So king e3, and I go knight c4 again. It looks like I want a stalemate draw, perpetual. Here comes king f3 this time. I go knight d2. Now I'm just threatening, just winning the game of chess with rook d4. So white could just play here king e3, but plays rook d2. So this is it. This is it, just like the song. So I'm thinking now I've got a weakness on here, because I'm going to take the rook, and now the threat is, of course, rook d4. And so here's bishop e3, and I take this, bishop e3, king e3, gf4. I'm driving the king away from this square and that square, even though my rook is on it. So just king f4, knight h6, because this isn't a square, but I'm also threatening rook here and rook here. Okay, rook here and rook here, and pinning the pawn, sort of, and taking here, and then coming here and then behind, rook, as any New Zealander would do, rook f2 check, and king has to go here, and I can march up to here and here, and that's sort of like the way I'm looking at this game. Okay, so here's e6, which threatens, of course, a win in one move with king here, and doesn't matter what I do. If I take the bishop or whatever, if I play knight here, yes, king e5 is not possible and the end of the game. But white's actually threatening just king e5, just walking to e5, game over, white wins. So and at the same time my clock's going down, so king f6. So no, you're not going to go to e5, but you've got e5 as a move, and like I think you just win. And so I was ready to lose this game here right now, because e5 wins in 2 moves. e5, king e4. But I'm just a hack at this game. I don't know how to play it very well, and here's evidence, here's proof. So my rook d4 hasn't happened. Even if I went king d6, e5 still wins with no, it doesn't. King d6 is better, as but it's not very good till rook d1 check and king e5, king of the hill. So, but my opponent missed e5 check and king e4, game over. Played rook g1. So I went rook d4, rook g5, knight f5, rook f5, king e6. Now, is there better? Rook f5 is forced, as ef5 is no good because it's check, and the king has to run back, and I go king e5 anyway, I don't care, and rook f5, king e6. Now all I have to do is get rid of that rook, so king e3, but this is not easy. Now I don't want to take that pawn, I've got to get in behind. So here's this, and I think I've got this Sparky. Here comes king e3. So here I think it's getting close to curtains, but I've still got to be careful. Rook d4 and rook e5. So welcome along, if anyone's watching, welcome along, because I didn't intend to put this on Twitch. I was just recording for my chess channel, David Weegenaar chess channel on YouTube, and I saw I was live for some reason, I'm not sure why. I must have hit the wrong button, so I've gone on about that enough. Here the beauty is that if rook d5 check, rook d5, e5 is no good because of king d5, king of the hill, black wins. So rook f5, and now I was on the verge of losing on time. Rook e5. I mean rook e4, and now it's seconds away from disaster for white, as this move here wins for black. But as mentioned previously and before and all that sort of stuff, as mentioned, I was completely lost after whatever happened before. E5 check, and it's completely lost. And so my opponent dropped the ball. So then I went to have a look who my opponent is. Okay, so here we've got rook f4 and king d5, game over. It just says mate. Uses the symbol mate. Checkmate. But anyway, black's going to get to the center now first before white can. And once I'm on those squares, I might just go to every one of them if I can, and not allow black. Black won't allow white to go on any of them, because I'll just stay on that pad there, that sort of like Brer Rabbit pad, the pad of Brer Rabbit. And so there you go. I hope you enjoyed that game. But then I went to have a look who I played. Okay, now so the account is closed. Look at that. Wow. And guess what? This account just started like an hour ago. Boy, I don't know what that means, but this account is closed. And that's why I was bringing this game to you, because I suspected, but I was only suspecting, I've got suspicions that this account only started about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. And I went to their account thinking, who was that? Like, that was, this is quite a good game for someone that's just started playing this game. So I thought my opponent must have been quite high rated. Okay, I thought my opponent would be quite high rated. I'm just going to have to take a drink of coffee on that one. And if you get it right, I can't get it there. There you have it. I mean, I'm sitting there looking up at that and going, wow, account is closed. But I was going to say to you, is this a genuine person playing here? Because I thought that the moves were quite good. Not that I played quite well, but white could have won. White could have won with just that check and king e4. I think that's correct, Sparky. But I was thinking, I don't want to say my opponent's cheating. I just wanted to say, like, you be the judge. But I was thinking, a little bit of suspicion. Okay, so I might have beaten the computer. Yes! Yeah! I'm not saying I beat a computer. Maybe the person just thinks, well, I'm going to start another name instead, and might be doing that. I don't know. You be the judge. That's what I like to say. All the best with your chess, no matter where it's at, and primarily try to enjoy the game of chess. That's the most important thing. Even when you're going to get checkmated, try and enjoy it. It's very good for your chess. And what I want to say as well as that is this. Remember the 5 respects in chess, and they're good for anything you do, any sport or game or anything you do in your life, because the attitude is so important. So remember the 5 respects that probably are not my own. I've probably picked them up somewhere. Okay, the 5 respects are one. Okay, 5 respects are 1. Respect your opponent. Okay, respect your opponent. 2, respect your opponent's pawns and pieces. Yeah, pawns and pieces. 3, respect yourself. Okay, and your chess prowess, of course. 4, respect your pawns and your pieces. 5, respect the game of chess. And if you do those 5 respects at least, your game will be good. I'm not saying it's going to be great. Like my games aren't great, but your games will be good as long as you're doing it honestly. And so thank you very, very much. I thought I'd stick this onto YouTube, and so now I'm going to share it to YouTube, saying that I thought it was for YouTube, but it went for your eyes only onto Twitch. So thank you very much, and this session will now finish. Okay, I actually got 27 points for that. That's quite good. So I don't consider I'm very good at King of the Hill. Okay, that's what I think. Bye for now.